pull up a chair. It's Uncle Coco.
On your own, without nobody knowing. He was the dude that we did, I was about 17, and we did double sunshine acid.
Jesus.
On the blotter. It was 2 hits of acid rolled into one, really.
Sure.
That's why they called it double barrel, whatever the it was. We ate it, and we went to that movie in Fairview where George's office is right now. It was next to a Carvel. But we walked out of there by 1:30 in the morning.
Right.
And the acid was on fire. And we got to walk down Bergen Boulevard to North Bergen border and then walk to where Louis lived at the time on 83rd Street. It was me, him, and Kurt DiLorenzo. God rest his soul. And we're right about where the old diner was. It's still a diner there. And right on Bergen Boulevard, whatever that diner is, right there where we went. Boulevard Diner's been there since Jesus left Chicago. And it used to be open 24 hours. And they had a great cheeseburger deluxe with the mozzarella. That one, the Point?
Yep.
Where's the Point? Fairview. Thompson. I don't like the one on 7th Street. But anyway, what are we talking about here?
We're not sure yet.
I don't know.
You haven't told us.
What are we talking about here? Come on.
No. You were.
Oh, okay.
You went to a movie.
So we're walking down Bergen Boulevard, and I don't know. I looked at Louis at Kurt, and I go, on the acid. I go, you hear that? And Kurt looks at me and goes, yeah, I hear that. But Louis goes, I don't hear that. So we just played with it. We just ran with it. We're like, how the don't you hear that? It's burning my ears. And then Kurt started with him. I'm telling you, I can't hear either. And they went back and forth for like 10 minutes. And it had just rained. And there was a huge pothole. And it had 2 inches of water. And this dropped to his knees and started throwing cold water in his face. We're on the acid. Quack, 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 quack. We're dying. And this guy's splashing water. And he comes back and he goes, I still don't hear it. I'm like, it's loud. And this took off down Bergen Boulevard to Kennedy to wherever his destination was. We just walked home. We're like, we don't know what happened to that dude.
What if he might never have recovered from that?
No, he recovered.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but then
did you tell him eventually that noise
but then he moved
real?
to Miami, That's like getting a concussion and then moving to Miami and putting 18,000 Coke rocks in your head. That ain't gonna help it either.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
The man has a point.
It was insane. The open mic scene, we had the first transvestite. Like
Rita
all
O.
these people talk about trannies and stuff. We were running with the first transgender in 1995. Rita O. I got her picture in my phone.
Did I show it to you?
Look at her head. Look at the size of her head. She was a real tranny.
She had.
Okay, I was there when she called the White House. And
She called the what?
the White House. I want to talk to the president because the bar in
Oh, she's trying to get arrested.
what was that town?
She's trying to get us all arrested.
Where Carol stripped. Ballard.
Oh yeah.
Ballard. We were in Ballard one night, and we were up on. I was hosting or something. Well, she was up there. She was doing jokes, and then she said, and the guy came up and took the mic from her and said, "No, you cannot say here. This is family."
The owner.
And we go, "No, give her back the mic. She'll be clean." And she went right back to suck. So he goes, "Everybody out, get out." So she had like a bag of Coke and a bunch of pills. We went over to her house and we're snorting Coke and shit. And she's like, "I don't understand why they don't let me say f***." And I'm like, "I don't know, Rita. Cut another line." And she's like, "I don't get it." And I'm like, "Listen, if you got a problem, call the president." And she goes, "I guess I will." And she picked up the phone and started calling, "Can I get the White House, please?" And I'm like, "Rita." And she's like, "I want to talk to the president." They
It was his idea, Jack.
Hello? And they hung up on her. And she called back. And when she called back, I'm like, I'm going to start taking this Coke and some of these pills.
Someone's coming.
Because they're coming.
Yeah.
They'll come within
Someone's
a minute.
coming.
They'll come.
Someone's coming.
And sure enough, as I jumped in the car, The cops are coming down the block. I can't believe you're leaving me. Yeah, because the cops are on their way, and you got $10,000 worth of pills here.
Okay. You, in the many years that we've known each other, you haven't gotten me quite as good. But when Rita O died, and I asked you, how did she die? You had me believing that because her head was so big.
Yeah, she fell off a speaker. That's what really happened.
Because her head.
She was, listen,
Oh,
her head
really
was so
happened.
big because she was a small Japanese.
Yeah.
She was a small Japanese man, and then she became a woman and put a wig on. So the head stayed big, but her body lost all the weight. So she had this head that she would fall once a month and have to go to the hospital and an ankle and all that shit.
She really fell off the speaker?
And she was dancing at that bar, the gay bar in Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
And she fell off the speaker and then she banged her head. She went to a coma and she died.
Uncle Coco, show me one more time how your friend, God rest her soul, Rita, was dancing.
An ankle and all that shit.
She really fell off the speaker?
And she was dancing at that bar, the gay bar in Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
And she fell off the speaker and then she banged her head. She went to a coma and she died.
Yeah.
Bro, but she came to LA one
More
time and
energy.
she started getting snippy with me. I owed her $500 and I wasn't gonna pay her, right? And I owed her $500 from Headshots or something. And she's like, I want my money. And she started yelling at me in my house because she was a Carol. And I was making tomato soup. You ever hear about that story?
No.
You did tell me this
And I
story.
threw the tomato soup on both of them. I just
Wow, it
said,
was
shut
hot,
the f- up.
Joey.
There was tomato soup everywhere. The walls, the
You could have
table,
just smacked her with a
the
pan.
fucking carpet.
I mean,
Huh?
not her, him.
Did what? I
It
owed
was
her
a
$500.
transvesite.
And she's like, when
Can
am I
you
getting
say
my
a
money? I said,
transformer
soon.
on here?
When I get the check. And she's like, I want it
I
today.
don't
I go,
know.
you can't get it today. I'm not getting paid till they send me the f***ing check. And she kept harping on me. And then Carol's like, you should pay her. I go, Carol, you're my girlfriend. Do I have any f***ing, how do you want to pay me? I go, why don't you f***ing pay her?
Yeah, she's got that.
And I'll pay you. And she's like, no, okay, then f*** you. You got to wait for my check. And they kept haunting me. And I was making tomatoes.
See, I don't like that. Because Coco is dead wrong. That's fine. You can't pay her, you can't pay her. But you're putting your girl in an uncomfortable position. Carol is not saying you need to pay her because she's siding with Rita. She's just saying you need to pay her because she don't know what else to say in a moment like that. You hear arguing going back and forth. You know that she knows she got your back. And Rita knows that Carol, your girlfriend at the time, has your back. So it's like you putting me in a position where I need the person here in front of me to know that ain't nothing wrong with what they're saying. They got the right to ask for their money. And I agree. You should pay them. And if you have it, give it to her. So it's not like she was trying to throw Uncle Coco under the bus. She's just in the middle of BS and she's like, listen, give him the money. But Coco's right. Hey, listen, you're my wife. Do I have it? No, I don't have it. You know that. But she knows you don't have it. Notice how she wasn't quick to say, all right, I'll give it to her and you give it back. That's how you know Coco back. The version of Coco back then was known to run off on the plug.
Here it is, tomato prison soup. Not even like good soup. It's Campbell's canned shit.
Right,
And
yeah,
I'm
I
like,
figured it was.
you want to bust my balls about $500?
But was
I'm
it
eating
hot?
soup. And they're like, well, you're not going to get bread. What? And I just threw the soup at everybody.
Let me
Oh,
ask you.
Carol got it too? You threw the
I
soup
put the
at
$2,500
wifey?
in there. I put $2,000 in there. And she
It
would
wasn't
get the
hot.
book.
It
In
was
those
still-
days,
it
they
was
gave
still
you a
cold.
book, and I tell you. So it stayed at $2,000. I was pretty good. And then I said, it, if I buy bulk, I make more money. And I have other people I could sell it to. And in those days, I had a guy in Guttenberg that would sell anything. Guttenberg was a creepy town.
We can assume it was Kojak because Coco, even Coco back then, the Coco he tells us about, he's not a POS that's going to throw hot, boiling soup at Rita, yet alone at his girl at the time. And moreover, we can assume that it was, not cold, but, out the can, room temperature. We can assume it was room temperature because if it was Italian style pasta, like he was cooking it, getting the ingredients, it's boiling hot because that's just how you cook the process. But if it's out the can, like he just told us, the Campbell's, he probably had just poured that joint. started heating it up. It only takes about 5 minutes to get warm or to cook, depending on how you like it. He must have just put that joint on. He just wants to eat. The man probably, can't do a line of blow today because he has to be at work. He's working his job. He's frustrated. He doesn't have the money. Rita's at the house, so now I got to talk to her because ain't nothing worse than having a conversation and you're on an empty stomach and it's a conversation that you don't want to have. But you don't want to have it not because you're being ignorant, not because you're saying, yo, I'll do that later, but because there's nothing to talk about. I don't have it. I don't have it, Rita. And you want to go in a fighting match for 10 minutes talking about the same thing. I don't have it.
But anything.
So he told wifey, hey, you're with her? Here. Yeah, I have my soup. It's taking too long to cook anyways.
And this guy was the fucking main dump. I remember one night bumping into him with smoke.
Yeah, because Campbell's are not. I'm not throwing my good soup. I'm not throwing my soup. I'm not throwing my food that's ready. And I know he's a big boy. I'm not as big, but I like to eat. Ain't no way. I don't care how mad I am. First of all, I'm not throwing food at nobody. Like, you know what I mean? He was angry. It was dark times. But I'm definitely not throwing no food that's ready. Maybe I'll throw a sandwich before it's done. But once it's mayonnaise and it's got the toppings and its lettuce is cut right and pepper and salt on the lettuce, the tomatoes on, I gotta cut it in a diagonal shape. I got a little triangle. Now I'm gonna throw it. No, I'm not throwing my food that's ready to eat. It's not happening.
We get out of a pipe. First off, we're freshmen in high school.
Right.
It's 90 degrees out. It's 3 in the morning. We're on like one of these corner blocks, and there's 10 of us out. And he's smoking. And he goes, you got any mescaline? I go, yeah. He goes, let me get 3 hits. And he took 2 right in front of me at 3 in the morning. And he was taking the other one, and he was crunching it up. I go, what are you doing with that? He goes, I'm going to put it in the bowl and smoke it. You want a hit? And I'm like, no. I already did like 3 of these motherfuckers. I still got to walk through the cemetery. And we used to put ourselves to the test, too. We weren't these little guys that went to a rave. If you're going to go deep with Uncle Joey, we're going to go deep. We're going to take you to the projects and park and go behind the fence and walk behind that little cemetery for a little hike.
On mescaline.
Oh, yeah. Woo! When you see, like, devil worshippers and shit.
And this sounds like fun to you?
Yeah, when you're tripping.
What is it like on mescaline? Is it just acid?
Look, Coco's version of D worshippers are just, the old little, dance around the campfire. Look at it. Look at his little dance.
You see, like, devil worshippers and shit.
And this sounds like fun to you?
Oh, man.
Yeah, when you're tripping.
What is it like on mescaline? Is it just acid?
It's acid. It's acid without the roller skates.
That explains a lot.
A little bit, but not really.
Now, these were the first people I ever met.
So it's not as fun.
Besides,
walking is.
my godfather,
it's nice to walk
never spoke
with
to me
shoes
about
on.
sex.
But skates.
And then
it's
I had
fun.
this Puerto Rican dude on my block, Puerto Rican Nelson. He lived in the back. He was a bartender in the city. He used to always ask me, and he wasn't a freak or nothing. I always thought that at one point he would me.
Yeah.
And even till today, I think deep sometimes. Did Puerto Rican Nelson ever molest me? Because he used to always have a robe on and slippers and shit.
But he was a hard worker, right? Yeah, I believe it.
Around?
Oh my God, Puerto Rican Nelson.
I love that you're not sure if he did.
Yeah.
You feel like it's maybe.
Yeah, like I think, did he ever dope me? Like, he ever pull a Cosby on me? Because everything about him fits like an MO. He was just a good dude.
Yeah.
That we used to go outside and help us fix our bike. And he was a Spanish dude. And he was just, he had the sideburns and the leather jacket. And it was the early 70s. And I moved to Jersey. And he would talk to a bunch of us. And one day he would take us in the back. His claim to fame with me was that I became friends with him. And I go over there, and he had a black friend that had went over to the Rock of Gibraltar, and he brought pictures back. And then he would just talk to me. And then one day, he asked me he had a couple of beers. You ever go to somebody's house, and you go to their house a lot, and they're sober, but one day you catch them and they're
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And we go over there, and it's like early in the morning. Like I used to go over there every morning at 10 and wake him up and what's up, man? What are we going to do today? Give me an hour. I'll go out there and play stickball with you. And he'd come out with coffee, and he reeked of alcohol.
Yeah.
You know, he was one of those dudes in the summer. You know, no air conditioning in place. Just a dynamite dude.
Yeah.
And one day, I knock on the door, and he answers with a towel around him, and he's sitting down like he's all f***ed up. I go, Nelson, you gonna play football? He's like, man, not today, you know, and all this shit. He goes, come back in like 2 hours. So, you know, we were, in those days, you're punctual.
Yeah.
Like, we were there in 2 hours.
Yeah. Before 2
He
hours.
answers, though, you guys again? The f***ing curtains were still up. He invites us in. He's got a towel on. You know, he turns a light on, and there's like a table filled with alcohol, you know, and like
Oh, yeah?
How old were you at this point?
12.
14, 12.
12, and I can't remember who the f*** I walked in there with. Like, it was like 6 of us in the neighborhood that liked Nelson, but 2 of us actually interacted a little closer with Nelson.
Yeah.
I was Spanish, so I understood Nelson's
Right.
world. I knew Puerto Rican people, but I can't believe who else was the other guy
Well, what's funny?
that mingled with Nelson. So we had woken Nelson up. He goes, come in. We sit on his couch. You guys want a soda? He gives us a soda. He puts the TV on. You can see he's still f***ed up from the night before.
Yeah.
He's got the towel on. And he's like, so you guys get late? And we don't know what the f*** he's talking about. Like, nobody ever spoke to me like that. I had uncles that would ask me, anybody suck your d*** yet?
Yeah.
Are you pissing sweet yet? That type of shit. But this...
You pissed.
Oh, yeah. When you're Spanish, te preguntan, oye, tú me aduces. You know what I'm saying?
Great.
Yeah, it's a great line.
It's a great line.
But Nelson was basically the first person ever, but like, I known about sex, but Nelson was the first person ever that said it could be yours. You know, I'm like, what do you mean you never had sex? I got a girl right now. She'll come over and clean your pipe. And we're like, and we're both like f***ing shit in our pants. Yeah, you come up with like $10 or something. We're like, nah. So that was it. He never talked about it again. And then one day we're sitting there like a month.
Just saw this guy,
Like
a guy in a fucking towel has neighborhood boys over and offers to
He's
get
in a
them
robe.
over.
He's in a freaking robe.
And he's drunk.
He's in his
You're gonna be
house.
outraged that they haven't had
He's not in a towel.
14 or 12.
So he was cool as He used to play basketball with us and shit. So one day I go over there with this kid.
He
and
took a
starts
liking to
telling
the
us,
young guys.
What's his name again?
Nothing
Puerto
crazy.
Rican Nelson. We go,
Is it be capitalized?
no, Puerto Rican Nelson was cool as because
What's
he used to
that
bring us
mean?
weed from the city.
He's
And
the
he would actually
P
give us 7
capital.
joints for $5.
Is it his real
He
first
really took
name?
care of us. It wasn't
Puerto
like he was a
Rican.
bad guy, which to me meant the world. Because a lot of people could bring you weed over in those days, but they say, I take a joint off the top. He was like, I got to go over anyway. Don't worry about it. The guy gives me a better deal. So I always liked him because of that. So one day we're there, and a girl's there. A girl comes out of his bedroom. Me and my buddy are like, wow. Look at Puerto Rican Nelson with a broad. She sits on his lap and shit. And he's like, yeah, this is my girl. And he's feeling her up. And he's making out in front of her. And feeling to these and shit. And me and my buddy are frozen. Like, we're just, I can't remember
Who was
who
with
the
you?
fuck it was.
I hate when that
So,
happens.
How old was this guy?
I could tell you
this guy had to
what
be
time it
28,
was.
the
I
girl
could
was
tell
like
you who was
21.
what
But he
was
cute. He
going
one of those- he had to be
on, who was
26
waiting on
maybe.
us, where we were going.
He
I
was from
can't
somewhere
remember who
else
it
and
was.
He lived there. This is before
That
the
happens,
computer,
bro.
before Neighborhood Watch, and before.
And
Yeah.
no one was freaked out by a pack of 12-year-olds hanging out with them?
Bro, they're
No,
not
because
even
in those days, a lot
thinking
of
like
parents
that.
came out and played with kids.
Right,
I know, that's
talk
different
to the
now.
young
See, it's
gunners.
I would
different
never
now.
be able to play with a random kid in my
No,
neighborhood.
so everybody knew him from the neighborhood, and in those days we wanted to go into the murky waters.
It wasn't
And
you
he
and
was
him
trying
by
to open the
himself.
door. Not really. To
It
be
was you
honest
and
with
his buddies.
It took a
and
long time. It's not
him
like
and
he let
his
us into his
cousin.
house. They said, "Do you guys
It's
want to
you
have
with
sex?"
a
This is
couple
after
young
we knew him
gunners.
for a year.
Right.
We go back there all the time to get water after a basketball game. We knew him. you know?
Right.
But now
Just
he knew we were growing up, and he knew what
Different
our needs were.
interactions.
I look at it now like he was just trying to.
He was
but we
looking
couldn't
out.
handle it.
100%.
So one day we're sitting back there. We had a basketball game, and he's like, "Hey man, what'd you think of that fucking broad the other day? Me and my buddy like, oh, she was banging. He goes, I'll tell you what. He goes, tell these guys how hot she was. And me and my buddy's like, yeah, she was hot. He's like, oh, when can we see her? He goes, listen, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. He goes, listen, I'm going to her tonight in the living room, and I'll leave the window open. You guys can come by and listen.
That was his thing.
For like $1 a piece.
That was his fetish.
Oh my God.
He got into boys listening to him.
We got there, he was f***ing the shit out of her doggy style. We all ran away. We were like mortified.
I know he's a comedian and he's just being funny and he probably doesn't even mean it. But for anybody out there who would think, like, yeah, he's right. What if that was a fetish? It's not, bro. It's just a culture difference. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not stereotype. It's just a culture difference. To a white person, they might see that as like, man, he must have had a fetish and he was getting off on that. Or what is it about him that he wanted kids to a different culture? When you grow up in the city, you don't even have to be Spanish. When you grow up in the city, you know that's not what it was. That man was not trying to do anything. Doesn't mean he would have never tried, or doesn't mean there's not people out there like that. I can't speak to that man's intentions. But the way Coco describes it, a guy like that, we all know that guy. We all know the guy that told us about, yo, don't smoke this stuff. And he's smoking weed, bud in front of us. And he would tell us, make sure you get a girl first, you get a good job, and you have a home, and then you could try something like this for your first time. Those guys, they just always gave us encouraging words. Maybe it wasn't the best advice, but it was pieces of advice that even if you listen to half of that, even if you waited till you got a house, or if you waited till you had a girl, and by then you would have grown up a little bit. It was just little things they were giving you to help you be a man, even though they weren't your pops. They had nothing but, love for you in a sense. Even if it wasn't like, excuse me, maybe they weren't teaching you things they taught their own kids. Maybe they taught their kids way better. But they would give you little nuggets and little gems of life that if you listened to, if you were just a little bit open to their suggestion, these things would help you later down the line. Like, yo, don't you chase no girl that doesn't want you. You leave them girls alone. You look for the girl that likes you more than you like her. Like, what? Likes me more than I like her? I don't want the one that likes me. I want the one I like. Don't you chase those girls that don't like you. Like little game. You would get game. And him saying something, Puerto Rican Nelson telling him, yo, y'all not getting laid? He wasn't like, yo, let me show you this. And, it didn't get creepy. It was just always, I don't know how people think that's weird. Like, again, culture differences. That's all. When you grow up in the city, he's telling him, yo, y'all come by. Y'all listen. Y'all hear what this is about. Y'all prepare yourselves. One day y'all will be getting laid. Would I tell young people to come listen to me? No. But, times were different back then, bro. Especially when you grow up in the city around a guy like that, who's drinking, Lord knows what else, maybe snorting a package every once in a while. He's definitely smoking. He's living reckless, So he's not exactly the most role model cup of tea. That makes sense? A little bit.
We got there 10 minutes before he started f***ing it. We're like, not even in there. And all of a sudden you heard her go, oh. And he's like, yeah, that's it, suck it. We tried to look. There must have been 8 of us trying to look at that window. We just heard them and I heard meat. Like, that's the first time I heard balls.
Yeah.
And we ran out of there, dog. And the next day, he's like, did you guys come by? Oh, my God.
That's the weirdest fucking neighborhood guy I've ever heard.
Oh, my God.
Holy shit.
The Ali brothers, until I hit right next to where they lived was a company called Duratest. and they made light bulbs.
Third test.
All
Light bulbs,
sizes.
okay.
They made these things, but the best thing for us as kids was when they made the Office, the skinny long ones.
Yeah.
Oh, all that I could hit you in the head 25 times, nothing will happen. They just break and you get white powder on you. Okay, so we would jump over the dumpster, get like 150 of those things, and everybody
Fight
would
with
take an armful, and we'd go to war with each other.
No shit.
Bah, bah, bah. We'd hit each other.
No cuts.
No cuts.
Never a misunderstanding. And it was me, Juan Ali,
No
Martin
misunderstandings.
Perez, all these white, Dean Laprede, all these white dudes from 26th Street were all out there, but there was a roof. A flat roof over a garage next to Juan Ali's house.
It's
And
going
there
to
was
be
access
a
to the roof.
misunderstanding in
So
here.
what happened in this war? 5-on-5, everybody's hitting each other with these things. I run to the roof, I'm having my own private war up in the roof, and somebody throws a rock over. They throw a bulb over, right? Then another bulb comes over, bah! And then a rock comes over. Well, I take the fucking rock, and I look at the guy, and I go, don't say nothing. And I throw the rock up in the air, right? And I just leave it like that, and all of a sudden you hear, and we look over, not the smart Ali, but the retarded one, Alberto, the one that used to always say, "Sí, yo sé lo que pasó."
Yeah.
Like he was the one that, he was like Louis. He's like that character Louis that wasn't intelligent.
Well, Louis.
But he was going, yeah, I was there. He
Like
was
Louis
that guy.
C.K.'s
But I hit
character.
him in the head with that
No
rock.
shit.
I clocked him right here. It didn't break, but he got a lump immediately, like a hematoma.
Yeah.
But it was a hematoma that pus went right to it, and he had a little pee hole in it. You could see, and he was on
Yeah.
the floor. He's on the floor. Like my friends.
He was still on the ground.
He got in there with the rock. They give hitting him with light bulbs.
This sounds like what's the movie where New York gets put inside like
He's
a...
the dumb one?
They hit him maybe with 10 light bulbs.
While he's down.
While he was down. By the time we got to him, he had powder all over him from the light bulbs. But you can still see the lump on his head. I'll never forget it till this day. I always look him up on Facebook or Google him. I can't
find
get a
him?
hold of him.
Yeah, that happened
This
to
is
me
the
a couple,
quickest
with
way
a
to
couple
go
people
from
I tried
AI
to
beginner
get in touch
to
with.
AI fluent in 2026.
I just can't
Watch
find 'em.
this.
Listen, the most
There's this
dangerous
one girl that I
place
got
when it
along with
snows
real well. I
is
can't
right
find
over
her.
here.
I
Where?
gave up.
Right over here in the park called Hudson County Park.
Maybe it's for the best.
That motherfucker
Or maybe it's
snows.
not even
I have
that deep.
done,
And it just
Whirly
you
Wolf.
can't find them.
I have done
I never see Coco
spinning
with a
things
coat.
in that park.
It's a nice coat
Whatever you call that, with a
with the
car.
black hoodie.
Oh, donuts.
Donuts
just
with
right.
that in that park.
I'd have threw a blue
Right,
joint
right
on.
before you hit Burger
Or
Line, but
orange joint
White
on.
Castle.
Yeah,
right.
nice little
It started
orange
like 100 yards away. I was with my buddy, the politician, and he stepped on it, and the car just started spinning with a body in the back. And the body's banging the sides. And
Wait, you did
Faded
donuts in a
green.
hearse?
Faded green.
On purpose or by accident?
Yeah, no.
in those days, there was a
green.
sheet of ice underneath.
Oh, okay. I thought you were...
Even you could have the best Department of Public Works, and you still after midnight. That's a jungle out there. You're just asking for trouble, dog. You're just asking for trouble out there.
That is
after
scary when
midnight.
that happens.
You go down that Edgewater Road behind the fucking grinder. That's a problem when it snows. That's a problem. All that shit is a fucking problem. That wind comes off that Hudson, my friend.
It freezes everything.
Dog, listen, all you gotta do is grab a motherfucker, knock him out, put some snow on him, and put him on a park bench by Hudson County. They won't see nothing in the morning. He'll be like that dude in Fargo. They'll just leave him out there with all the snow on him and shit. That one time in Tempe, that is the most fun I had in a long time, Lee. But that's what my mind is. The place in Tempe had 3 stories. But on the second story, they had a smoking lounge that faced the inside of the hotel.
Okay.
So you walk into the hotel, people, and right there you check in. But then, to get to your room, you have to walk away from that area and walk across this tremendous palazzo, pool, restaurant, and business. When people get together for businesses conferences,
Right.
and they're unbelievable. These bungalows, Lee. These bungalows have a fucking kitchen, Lee. like the size of my living room,
What?
with a refrigerator against the wall. You ask for it. Coconut water with pineapple on it. The red juice, Lee, they got everything.
Nice.
So here's these people having conferences about real estate, and there's another hut with people having conferences, and there's 100 people down by the pool because it's Tempe, Arizona, and there's 30 people eating in the restaurant. And I go up on the second floor, and I go into the corner, and I take a cigarette, and I light it. Now, there's another guy on the other side. He's smoking a cigarette. He puts his cigarette out, and he walks in. I take my joint out, Lee, and I spark that motherfucker. And meanwhile, the whole time, I'm smoking the cigarette like this.
Yeah.
With my
And
left
your bud
hand,
every
but I got
once in
the
a while.
joint in my right hand, Lee. And with nobody watching, I make believe like somebody's calling me. And when I go to get the cell phone, I take 2 hits off the joint. And the air is catching this. And you can see that the people in both conferences are looking around. And I'm right in front of them, Lee, smoking the cigarette. And they cannot figure out who the is doing this. Lee, I was doing it for 3 days.
Chat, listen. I was on the beach, right? Give me a second, I'll get it. And I was with my guys. I was with my guy. And we were approached by police. And the officers thought the same thing. What are you guys doing out here? That man, hold on. Rip that off real quick. That man was like, nothing, we're just relaxing. Doing nothing. We were gonna head that way. Meanwhile, got the L-skis, 2 L's, holding them just like that. He is a smooth criminal. He's a smooth criminal. And we're discussing, and I'm trying to do a lot. Like, not a lot. I'm not trying to do too much where they're like, why is this guy acting like this? Maybe we should search these guys. But I'm trying to do enough to keep them engaged with me. You know, there's always going to be the one officer that's looking at the other guy while he, trying to read. Because there's one that does the talking, and there's one that's trying to see who's lying and who's nervous. So I'm trying to get, keep the attention on me because I know he got him in his hand. But I'm thinking, maybe he threw them on the beach because I don't see him in his hand. I can only look so much. So I'm thinking maybe he threw them in the water or just dropped them. Meanwhile, I got him here the whole time like a smooth criminal. Look at that. I lost the pencil. But yeah, I know exactly what he's saying. Let me get it back because I want to. So what he's saying is, he's saying he has the cigarette in one hand. You know what I mean? Because you can hold it real close. You can hold the L-ski real close, real quick. So he's saying he has the cigarette in one hand and he's smoking. Obviously smoking. Like a doctor. Smoking. And every once in a while, he's taking a pull from his nice little L-ski. Like a smooth criminal, chat. Smoking. People see him. People are only going to look so much. Like, oh yeah. Where's that smell coming from? Oh, these guys are smoking cigarettes, and he's obviously smoking a cigarette, nice and obvious. Like make sure he gets them big pulls, and every once in a while hitting L. Tremendous.
I tormented people at this hotel in Arizona. The last time, I'll never forget the 3rd day, people were running in the fucking lot trying to figure out who it was, and there I am on the balcony right in front of them.
They have like statutes for that hotel now because of that event and whatever year to deal with smokers. Like they have a whole new part of a rule book they have to teach people.
Right.
Let me tell you something, Lee. I never saw Gentiles in such a state of panic. They were fucking running around, Lee, the 3rd day. The bellman, the security, go to the roof, go to the 2nd floor.
Were you moving around the hotel just to mess with them?
Yeah, no, I'm on the balcony.
He's in one spot.
Them smoking reefer while they're looking everywhere but at me because I'm right in front of them, Lee.
What, did they think you were smoking a cigarette or
They
something?
thought
Hidden in
I
plain
wasn't
sight.
even smoking cigarettes. I just knew that if the only reason I could go on
You
this
just said
balcony
you were
was to
smoking
smoke a
cigs.
cigarette. And they keep
Oh,
looking
wow.
at me, and they're looking at the cigarette, and they're going, it's not him. But what they're not seeing is that I keep taking my phone out going, hello, hold on 1 second. And I'm taking 2 hits off the joint, blowing it. And then what I would do is leave the roach by the fucking plant. There was planters out there, and I would leave the roach by the plant.
Do you think it got sent?
Chat, he's even crazier than we think. He's not, chat. He's not doing what I thought. I wasted our time. I'm thinking he's hitting Elski, smooth criminal, and he's letting them see, the cigarette smoke. Chat, he went out there on the balcony with an L. But because he's hidden in plain sight, you know how they say hidden in plain sight? He's right in front of them, so they're just assuming it ain't him. It's got to be someone, that's going to look like they're hiding. Plus, Uncle Coco's a little older. You look at someone like him, he got his hair slicked back. He's wearing a black T-shirt. You just assume that guy's probably not breaking the rules. That guy looks like he knows how to abide by the rules, and the last thing he wants to do is get thrown to freak out. You're looking for like some young guy or someone that looks like they're doing something sneaky. Hidden in plain sight. Man, it's crazy.
DNA. They're like, "Oh, catch up."
No. They're like, we knew it. But Lee, that was I love doing that type of
The
shit.
roach bandit. So you just want to go alone and torture people just in like new locations? You just want to torture
I'm
random
getting to
people?
an age that when I was younger, I liked torturing people. But I'm getting to an age since I have no friends. I don't talk to them. Like, I didn't talk to anybody all weekend. So I basically just tortured people.
Welcome to my
I
world.
took my daughter's softball whistle, that f***ing whistle, the problems I caused with that whistle. I went to my buddy's restaurant, Eddie Bart. What was the name of Eddie Bart's restaurant? Out in the
Bart.
Little Ferry. Great restaurant.
The Little Fairy?
I'm sitting there hacking sack. Doesn't matter,
he
George.
selling?
I don't even know the name of it.
Oh, you're calling him the Little Fairy.
So I'm sitting there with Eddie Bart, and I'm blowing
Like-
this whistle.
Is it a...
AI
a
is
smoke
giving
shop?
creatives the power to create anything. But with infinite possibilities, what should
Dee, dee. And every time I blow the whistle, he's a general manager. He's getting up and looking around. For 2 hours, they thought the fire alarm was going off.
Oh,
and
my
every
gosh.
time they would settle, I'd do another beep, beep. And they get up and they run the fucking restaurant. He didn't know until I did the podcast a week later, and he listened to it. And I talked about the whistle.
That you
So,
were, oh my God.
Saturday night, I went out with a couple to dinner, a young couple. I met her 5 years ago. She's the first person I met in Marlboro. And then she introduced me to her boyfriend. I'm tighter with the boyfriend now than I am with her because he has a health food store. So I see him a lot more. So they invited me out Saturday night. And at first I was like, I don't know. And I met him. I had the last 2 edibles. I had two 500 milligram edibles. And I had some Enigma mushrooms, and I ate half the bag, but I haven't been eating mushrooms, so they kind of give you that
Enigma
euphoric for about a half hour. So I was eating in this restaurant. I ordered the Chinese
Raw?
Italian
Or you
fried
throwing
rice.
food?
They got Italian fried rice. And I'm eating the fried rice, and I'm f***ing tripping. I'm getting high on the edibles, and the guy gave me a steak knife by mistake. So I'm just sitting there every 5 minutes. I would just pick up the steak knife and go, ha! And I just... The people next to me were going crazy every time I said ha. And then I broke the whistle out by myself. And I just started doing the beep, beep. And everybody's looking around. I'm like, and I'm calling the waiter over going, what's that whistle? Let me find out what it is. He's running the restaurant. That's what I giggle upon. That's
Oh my
what
God.
That's what I like doing.
Dude,
I'm trying to write a book, so these memories are fresh.
Chat, and I didn't pay attention if he's wearing the same thing, because a lot of these were from recent. He looks the way he looks now. This is a back then one because of the background, we could tell. But I think those were 2 different clips, number 10 and number 9. And now we're getting a bonus, which is solid. But the point that I'm making is, he did it again, chat. The man did it again, hidden in plain sight. So he's making him tweak out with a noise, and then he calls the waiter over and makes the complaint. So now the last place that this waiter is gonna look or expect the noise to be coming from is from his table.
Mind these crazy things I bring up from the dead, and I go, oh my God. You know, I was telling my wife today that at my mom's funeral, at the wake, her best friend, with white powder in her nose. There's 200 people in the thing. It's the second night. And she goes, I gotta tell you something. I don't like half the people in this room. And I go, sorry. And she goes, I'm telling you. And your mother didn't like them either. She went up by the casket and in broken English, she's like, can I have your attention, please? And she goes, listen, not for nothing. I see a lot of you people having a good time drinking. There's a lot of people in this room that you didn't like Denora and Denora didn't like you. Do me a favor, finish your drink, get the fuck out of here. Like, I got shit for days that I sit here and go, what the fuck just happened?
Nah, you should have ended it as soon as she said, do me a favor and get the freak out. You should have ended your episode. This was a solid episode. This was put together well. Definitely wasn't the top 10 best moments of 2025 when it comes to Coco Diaz. But definitely a solid list. Some good stories. Alright, chat. We had to wrap up with 2025. We had to do that. I was gonna do that the night of going into 2026. But that night was rough. That night there was a lot going on. I barely made it to make it happen. But we still made it happen. 2.5 hours instead of 3. I think on New Year's. It is what it is. We showed up. And that's what 2026 is about. Do what we can. Show up. Consistency. God first. Gotta love the church. Go sub up. Church of what's happening now. Coco Diaz and LEESYATT. He's back. Coco feels loose, right? He looks loose. He feels loose. He's hitting us with combos. This joke, and on top of that joke, I add this, and I add something. I don't know if he's back in the comedy as far as doing stand-up and working rooms. I don't know, but if the man comes anywhere near my city, I'm there. And I need to invite somebody. But I'm like, Coco, I don't have friends. I got brothers that'll always be my brothers, that we live in our own worlds. We do our own things. We call each other every once in a while. We text each other as much as we can. And we link up very, very few, very often. I mean, very rarely. But people got family, people got kids, people got girlfriends, people got jobs, people got 2 jobs, people got the trap and a job, people got the trap. There's just a lot going on. I was going to tell you about a song. Every time I say there's a lot going on, I think of that song. But anyways, matter of fact, I think I reacted to that song. Alright, chat. Get out.